Good morning, everyone. Today I wanted to take a look at three tarot cards in particular: the Fool, the Hanged Man, and Judgment. And look at these in accordance with the Kabbalah and the three mother letters of the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. There are different versions of the cards. So this is the Hanged Man. This is the Tarot of Marseille. It's the Marseille Tarot. There's the World. That is actually a different one. Let me see here. The World, there's the Fool, and then there is Judgment. As you can see, they're rising from the coffins. And today I wanted to talk about Aleph, Mem, and Shin, and then of course there's also the elemental earth. So basically fire and water. These represent all dualities in the Kabbalah. So the three mother letters, Aleph, Mem, and Shin. Basically, Shin, and this is all found in the Sefer Yetzirah. This is all found in the Sefer Yetzirah. And this, by the way, is the best, by far the best version of the Sefer Yetzirah that one can have. This is the one by Aria Kaplan. But according to the Sefer Yetzirah, there are three mother letters: Aleph, which is associated with elemental air; Shin, which is associated with the element of fire; and Mem, associated with water. What about Earth? Earth actually has to do in the Kabbalah with the materialization or concretization of the higher forces. So Earth appears more as like a pendant to the rest of the Tree of Life. Earth is Malkuth. Earth is material manifestation. Okay, so basically Aleph, Mem, and Shin represent air. Aleph is air, Mem is water, and Shin is fire. So Shin here represents fire. And there are different ways of associating the Hebrew letters with the Tree of Life. The way that we're doing here is the mainstream, like Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn way. But fire, as you can see in the old decks, it shows them rising from the coffins. Fire liberates from forms, whereas the Hanged Man, which is water, one is bound to forms. Okay, the Hanged Man shows one bound, whereas Judgment shows people rising, liberated from forms. Fire liberates destruction or death or any type of destruction. Let's say it's leaving a job, leaving a place that you're living, or a friendship, or whatever, ending something. That energy is liberated from whatever form it was in. We often fear death, or we fear the end of things, but that fire, that sheen, that destruction, okay, is liberation. Mem is the opposite, water. This has to do with binding. As you can see, his hands are bound before his back. He's bound by 1 foot. So this is a binding together. These are separatio and conjunctio, separation and binding together, or disintegration and coming together, or solve and coagula. Okay, so I just wanted to a brief look at Mem and Shin as all opposites, and we could put any opposites here. We could say male, female. We could say day and night, motion and rest, or labor and rest. We can put life and death. We can put any growth and decay, youth and age. We could put any kind of duality, okay, between these two cards: Shin and Mem, fire and water, breaking apart, binding together. And then Aleph. And again, there are different ways to put the Hebrew letters with the card. The way we're doing it here, Aleph, the Fool, this is Aleph. This is the reconciler. It's air, but actually it's more like a vacuum in the sense that it is air. It is above duality. It is the Kabbalistic zero. It is above duality. another way to look at this, and by the way, of course, I am just a fellow seeker, just sharing, studies with people here. But check this out. So this is another version here. See, the Kabbalistic zero, he is the potential. Now, here's the thing about the Kabbalistic zero. And by the way, the word full comes, if you look up the etymology, the word full comes from the Latin word folies, which means a bag of wind or a bellows. So in Latin, the word full comes from Latin folies, like a bellows, or a bag of wind is also the lungs. The lungs are a wind bag, a bag of wind. So literally, if you look up full etymology, like what is the source of the word full, it goes back to the Latin folies, bag of wind, like lungs, a wind bag, or a foley, a bellows. And so actually, let's take a quick look at this. Where did I put that? Give me just a second, y'all. I'll be right back here. So this is just one way of looking at this. One of many ways, because these are like universal symbols or glyphs, okay? There's so many things we could say about them. But I just wanted to think of the full also as before the action. It's the potential. Before you act, it can go one way or the other. So before you make a decision, okay, think of it this way. This is one way to think of it. Before you make a decision of disintegration or binding together, or one way or the, think of these as any kind of duality. You stand at a crossroads, you make one decision or the other. One way to look at it is that the full is before making a decision, it's neither one. It's neither fire nor water. It's neither one, okay? This is before the act. At this moment, this is pure potential. It's not manifested as male or female. In the same way that symbolically speaking, at one moment the child is neither male nor female until it develops. In the same way that pure spirit or potential, or before you make a decision, any kind of action that's going to totally change the course of event of your life, and that pure moment, in that instant, is the full. It's not manifested yet, and it's not come out as fire or water, or male or female, or yin or yang. It's neither one. It's above these, okay? So I just wanted to mention briefly this idea of the zero. It's not yet. It's not in existence yet. It's before existence. And when it comes into being, it could either go one way or the other, okay? And it's kind of another way of looking at +1 plus -1 equals 0. So, and we're going to look at different decks. We're going to look at just tarot in general. We're going to look at tarot in history. We're going to look at all these different things with tarot. We're going to look at the history of it. We're going to go down different rabbit holes. I think a lot of them are a waste of time, which I only discovered after I went through them. But I don't want to be judgmental. We're going to go through Tarot of the Bohemians by Pappu or Gerard Oncas, and they do a totally different thing. They make Sheen the Fool and the whole other Oswald Wirth and the Marseille, and we'll go through down all these rabbit holes. I do think that a lot of them are a waste of time, but I don't want to impress my opinion on anyone else. I want other people to come to their own conclusions. And of course, we'll go through the Tarot of Eliphas Levi, and then Rider-Waite Smith, and the Pictorial Key to the Tarot, and of course the Book of Thoth, which in my opinion is by far the most developed when it comes to like tarot symbolism and making it like a universal like key that's like represents everything that could possibly be, and like a complete Kabbalistic system. In my opinion, is by far no other deck, no other like goes as far into depth into making this a complete system. But, we're going to go through all these different things. But, anyways, this is just one way of looking at it, that the full is the pure potential before something becomes A or B. Okay. And then think of binding together and separation. Okay. And and of course, in Crowley's, it's the Eon card. Okay. That's the waking up. That's the divine fire coming to us. That's the awakening. And then the binding together. It focuses on the fire and the water elements here. Water and fire with the full. And notice if you look at the zero, around the full is a giant zero, right? This giant zero. But if you look back here, look right here, that looks like a sperm, like the head of a sperm. If you have the Thoth deck, you could see better. Back here behind the dove, looks like the head of the sperm. This whole thing is like the tail of the whole thing is the potential to be, okay? And it's above duality. So, together, this separation, think of fire. What does fire do? It liberates from a form. It separates. It divides up, right? So it's like waking up from the coffins of the old forms, right? And then we have this binding together, okay? This binding. The hands and feet are bound, being stuck in one thing, bound to matter or whatever. Okay, however you want to see this. And then we have that which transcends these. So this is just one of many, 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 many ways. This is just barely skimming the surface of just Aleph, Mem, and Shin. There's so much further. This is just one way. I just wanted to just briefly talk about this way of looking at Aleph, Mem, and Shin. Okay, and then I wanted to read just one little thing. Let me see here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh. Okay, I just wanted to read... No, I mean, I think that's it, That's just a quick, brief video. And that's actually me experimenting with like these 10-minute videos, which I'm used to doing like hour-long videos. So just one way of looking at things as, binding together that which separates or that which holds together in one form, coming together, uniting, and that which divides. And think of water and fire binding and separate, solving coagula, and that which is above these. And this idea of pure potential before something is manifested is one polarity or the other. Okay, so just one way of looking at this. And these being analysis and synthesis, and separation and uniting and solving coagula. So anyways, I'll see y'all in the next video, and many more videos to come. And yep, see y'all in the next video. It's just a quick tarot video for y'all. Thanks for joining me, y'all.